17 runners in this year's Japan Cup. Masquerade Ball looking to be the first 3-year-old to win the Tenno Show and the Japan Cup. There's a couple that have gone close, but it's not been done by 3-year-olds in the past, winning both. That scratched from the race, Durezza. And number 18, Tastiera, will be gate 17 when they jump, but Damien Lane, 17.3.
Yes, the 2023 Derby winner won the QE2 at Sutton 2 starts ago, 8th in his latest race, the Autumn Tenno Show here last month, over 2,000 metres.
And number 13, of course, Breda Veg, Tom Marquand at 52 even.
Yes, well, the form the jock's in. A 5-year-old mare might have a chance. Unplaced last 6 races, 10th in the Autumn Tenno Show last time, 0.5 of a second off the winner, first time at 2,400 metres. And he rides Breda Veg. He'll be doing well if he gets that one home in the Japan Cup. Opening show of 52.3 about Breda Veg.
The only mare in the race.
Yes.
Here's number 1, Justin Palace, son of Deep Impact. His lead into this year's Japan Cup is much better prep than last year. Demuro's in form. 2.5 years since his last win, but this horse's barrier 1 has drawn perfect and does go forward lately, a little more forward than in the past, and that could be the key to his race. Quite an only poor career run was, of course, the Arc, because there was concern they were going to go to the Adi McKinnon because he wasn't quite ready, but they decided he is, and he is one of the main chances. Number 3, Cosmo Coranda, last 4 starts, his form has tapered off, and not competitive at Group 1 level, hard to have in this year's Cup. Number 4, Deep Monster, coming off that Group 2 2,400 metres in Kyoto on rain-affected track. In form last 3 starts at Group 2 and Group 3. A 7-year-old would surprise to make top 3 is also by Deep Impact. The Sunrise Earth could be the pace setter in this race. He's improving with each run, probably better over further, but he could run a race here that sets it up, and if he judges it precisely, Ikizoe could still be there when it counts. Ho-Ho Biscuit's another leader type, but would need to up the speed early. He does lack a closing speed, so if he goes a walk, that won't suit his style either. So hopefully he'll go forward and put some pace into the race. Number 7, Danon Beluga, only first start this year, didn't fare well. This is his 4th Japan Cup, previously 5th, 6th and 9th. One of 3 starters for the trainer, unlikely. The Visitor, Galandigan, well, Group 1, wonderful year for the trainer and jockey. Highest rated horse at the moment in form. 3-time Group 1 winner. Can this be the horse that breaks the 20-year drought? Number 9, Sayun Haters. This is his 4th Group 1, 7th best has been his performance. That was in the Tenno Show. Hard to see him featuring here. And you'd have to say that with Struve as well. Ran 10th last year and 2 Group 2 wins, but usually drops out and hits the line hard, but I think there'll be too much speed for him to make up enough ground. Number 11, Admire Terror, along with Struve, one of the 2 runners owned by females. Just his 2nd Group 1 midfield runner, so put into a good position. Does look outstanding with that dappled speckled grey colouring. Yoho Lake, also trained by the same trainer Tomomichi, as number 11. 6th Group 1 race, but is he a Group 1 horse? Probably not. Group 2 at best. 14 is Danon Desile, ran in York and finished 5th to Ombudsman. Back in Japan to the track and distance he loves after winning the Derby in 2024. He beat, of course, the Visitor in Dubai. Masquerade Ball, the 15. Proving every time he steps out. Is this horse as good as Equinox or Armored Eye? I'm not quite sure. But he's got some work to do from barrier 15. Japan Cup has been won a few times from that barrier in recent years. Shin Emperor, well, he had an issue with breathing, so let's hope that that's cleared up. Tastiera, well, he'll need to go to the front early from this wide gate, I think, or get up near the lead and get some cover. because drawing this barrier, it doesn't have a great record in the Japan Cup. There have only been 11 previously where we've had 18 runners. Now, of course, with 17 with the scratching, so it kind of discounts it. But has drawn wide. It's going to make it tough. And there's number 13, Brady Vague. The only female in the race, as I said, disappointing in the 10-0 show, went fourth. Favourite, Tom Marquardt, goes on, usually closes well. And if Tom's on song with the ride and she's in much better form, well, who knows. It is the 45th running of the Japan Cup. It's a quality field, especially the ones from the top through to about 8th in the betting. Some of the Group 2 runners might struggle, but it's all about the pace. Not necessarily the ground for the Japanese runners, but could be about the ground for the visitor.
Calandigan.
Adrian, what have you gone for here?
Coming for 15, Masquerade Ball as my first selection. From number 8, Calandigan. So going to be a little bit hard, but I wish him all the best, and he's making my second choice. From number 11, Admire Terror, and then number 1, Justin Palace are my 4 selections.
15, 8, 11 and 1 for Adrian. I've got Masquerade Ball on top, the 15, but I really do like the chances of the 1, Justin Palace, from that gate. I think it puts him right into contention. Then the 14, Dannon DeSailles, and I'm throwing the 5 in, Sunrise Earth, to try and hold off some challenges late, and if it can run in the top 3, it'll add spice to the trifecta. And putting Quad Honor in as my 5th selection. We'll be probably betting wide in the multiples to try and get some value, looking at Admire Terror, also the 18 in Tastiera, to throw them in as well. Just hoping that, in terms of value, that Justin Palace can run in the top 2, and maybe Sunrise Earth can upset quite a few of these challenges. I haven't put Calandigan in. There are so many reasons that I've gone against the horse. Breeding going back over the years, a horse with the breeding line of Calandigan doesn't do well in Japan. And there hasn't been a horse with similar bloodlines going back to Northern Dancer. The last one was 2002 when Falbrav won the Japan Cup. That was a 2,200 metre event at Nakayama.
Yes.
My first Japan Cup. And as we see there, Mikhail Barcelona wearing the wonderful Aga Khan silks. And will we see them competing at this level? Let's have that conversation. It's always difficult to come to a ground like this for any foreign horse, especially a European horse, and compete against the Japanese horses who race on this firm surface all the time. Do you think Calandigan's got the sprint and the close? I mean, he has good closing speed normally, but can it match the pace that we will obviously see late in races in Japan?
It's a definite worry, isn't it, really? And well, he's a tough horse, but could just be beaten for speed. It's speed racing in Japan, isn't it? You know, they go right from the word go, and it might just find him lacking. But let's hope not. But I say it would be so good to see to have an international winner of
4 Masquerade Ballers I have to win. What puts him ahead of the others in terms of ability?
I'm going with what Christophe Lemaire has been saying about the horse, saying that he thinks that he's improving in the same similar sort of way as Equinox was improving, you know, which I don't think he's an Equinox, but at the same time, if Christophe says that he's improving, well...
And then you get the contrasting comments from the trainer, who's not sure he's going to run 2,400 metres.
Yes.
And the other point that he worries about is right in front of the crowd. When he won the 10-0 show, he came home beautifully in that 32.3 or whatever it was, magnificent last 600 metres. We start right in front of the crowd here for the Japan Cup, and 3-year-olds can get very excited, and they can sweat up and start to run their race before they race.
Yes, a couple of 3-year-olds in the race. Quad Honor, of course, the other one that opened up at 4.8, but Masquerade Ball. Well, and of course the Autumn Tenno Show, such a good race really leading into the Japan Cup, I think. So Deduce last year, winning the Autumn Tenno Show and then winning the Japan Cup, and Masquerade Ball. Well, he's quite a short price, isn't he? 2.4 the latest price.
2.5 I had, but that might be right. Yep. No, they're coming through the tunnel, and very shortly they'll be out on the track. Who's going to take out the 45th running of the Japan Cup with 17 to run? Scratching, of course, overnight of Duretza. The horse is found to be ill, so will not be taking his place in this year's. Disappointing for Alexis Pouchon. Would have had his first Japan Cup ride, but not to be. So now 17 to go to the barriers. They're coming out in front of a crowd of approximately 80,000, and we anticipate the roar of the crowd will be deafening as they swing for home. Let's hope it's not too loud for the runners. You see there that Ho Ho Biscuit's extremely toey going through the tunnel.
Just under 80,000, the latest figure that I've received. Actually, it's about 75,000. So
yeah, it'll be 79,000 and something by the time they jump, because many people just come in for the main race, and of course you have to have a ticket. You can't just walk into the gate and buy one at the gate. You've got to have a reserved ticket to even be in the standing room area for the Japan Cup, and such is the case this year as well. Well, he's all smiles. He looks relaxed. He looks happy. Is it a nervous smile? He's very confident. He's had a great year. What has he got, 5 already this year?
Something like that. But yeah, the runners are coming out. He's looking for his 5th Japan Cup too, to equal Yutaka Take. So it's another thing that says motivates him.
He's got 4 this year. He had 3 in a row, of course, with Embroidery, Energico and Masquerade Ball, and had one earlier in the year with Ascoli Piceno.
So the runners coming out now.
Adrian's got the market for you.
Here's number 1, Justin Palace, Christian De Muro riding, and 12.0. The horse wears blinkers. Is Cosmo Kuranda, Yuji Tanai to ride, 263.9, big price, Cosmo Kuranda. Number 4 is Deep Monster, Kohei Matsuyama, the jockey, 57.4. There are 3 deep impacts in the lineup. He's one of them. Sunrise Earth is number 5. Kenichi Ikizoe riding, and the latest price is 33.8. This is Ho Ho Biscuits, Yasunari Iwata to ride, 132.9. Danone Beluga, number 7. Daisuke Sasaki to ride, Danone Beluga, 211.2. Calandagan, number 8, Mikel Barcelona to ride. Calandagan very steady in the market, 7.2, no change from the opening show. 9 is Seiyan Hardy's, Akihide Tsumura to ride, Seiyan Hardy's, and the price is 133.2. Number 10 is Struve, Akira Sugawara. Struve trades at 337.4. Blinkers on as usual. 11 is Admire Terra. Yuga Kawada riding Admire Terra, 43.5 the price. Yoho Lake number 12. Midai Iwata. Yoho Lake at 131.3. Sunday Racing colours on Breda Veg. Number 13, Tom Marquand to ride, and 47.9 is the price, about the 5-year-old mare. 14 is Danone Desal, Keita Tosaki riding. Danone Desal is at 4.8.
Runners behind the barrier for the 45th running of the Japan Cup, with a field of 17 to load the barriers. Yesterday, Doretsa was a late scratching, so Tastiera will be labelled barrier 18, but will be jumping from 17. And Adrian Webber, Masquerade Ball, continues to lead the market.
Yes, and the last 3-year-old winner of the race, of course, was Almondai, and that was back in 2018. We just got a couple of 3-year-olds in the race here, Masquerade Ball and Quadinor, of course. We've had 24-year-old winners and 14 5-year-old winners of the Japan Cup throughout time.
And Alcaced was the last foreign horse to win the race back in 2005. It's been a while.
Yep, 30 Japanese winners and 14 foreign winners.
But Calandigan has had some good money. Look at the market, 2.5 Masquerade Ball, 4.6 Quadinor, the 4.9 Danon de Sile, and then 6.6 about Calandigan, and then you're out to Justin Palace at 12.9.
Yes, good support for Calandigan, and well, as we mentioned earlier, really wish the connections all the very, very best. But just 3 geldings have won the Japan Cup in history.
Here's the fanfare as the starter takes the stroll in front of almost 80,000 people here at the Fuchu course in Tokyo for the 45th running of the Japan Cup. Welcome to our international audience. The favourite, Masquerade Ball, the 3-year-old, looking to win the Tenno Show and the Japan Cup back-to-back. He'll be the first 3-year-old to do that if he can take out this year's Cup. Japan Cup number 45. Welcome to our international audience. Masquerade Ball, 2.5 locally from Quadinor at 4.6, 4.9 Danon de Sile, and then 6.6 about the visitor, Calandigan. We wish the Aga Khan's connections all the best. 2005, the last time a visitor won the Japan Cup, Alcaced. And in that time, only a couple since then have, since the 2000 turning point, only 2 have run a placing when visiting from overseas. It's tough to do. The firm ground here, will it suit Calandigan? He likes the ground firm, but does he like Tokyo firm? We're about to find out as the field is starting to be loaded. Half the field locked away. A couple of Danon runners. A couple of Sunday racing as well. Crowd very quiet. They're being very polite here. Not making a noise to stir these horses up behind the barrier. It's wonderful to see. Waiting on 2 more to come up. Danon de Sile and into barrier 18, but has drawn 17. Tastiera, the visitors draw with Damien Lane. Very toey. Danon de Sile, they're set, stand by. They're ready in the Japan Cup. They're off and racing, and the jockey on Maya Terror has dropped straight out of the barrier and will take obviously no part. There's a horse running free at the back. And going straight to the lead is Seiyun Hades. Swooping across is Ho Ho Biscuits, and up there is Quadinor. Shin Emperor's there as well. Tastiera's got across with a bit of cover. Inside it is, on the inside, Cosmo Coranda. Back in behind them is Danon de Sile getting a bit of a squeeze. Back to Deep Monster. Back in the ruck is Justin Palace. Masquerade Ball goes on with Calandigan, and that free running horse out wide, Admire Terror. Then Yoho Lake. Then Danon Beluga, Struve, and at the tail of the field, Breda Vague, the mare, leading out by 7 lengths at the moment. An unusual leader here in Seiyun Hades leads out from Ho Ho Biscuits, and running third at the moment, Sunrise Earth, then Quadinor, followed by Shin Emperor. Then comes back in the ruck, midfield, Cosmo Coranda. Tastiera's settled well, as has Masquerade Ball. A Deep Monster, Danon de Sile, that The loose horses still going along with them on the outside of Masquerade Ball. Calandigan back in the last third of the field, but seems to be travelling sweetly. Then down on Beluga, well back in the ruck at the moment, 3 wide is Justin Palace. It's inside Yoho Lake, then Struve and Brady Vague still at the tail of the field. This one's coming back to them as they get to the 1,000-metre mark, and it still leads out by 8 lengths. And that's Sayun Hades, but is really shortening stride. Running second, Ho Ho Biscuits. Starting to take off Sunrise Earth, and that free runner is on the outside of them. Then comes Cosmo Coranda, followed by Quadanor, who's starting to click up. Then Shin Emperor, Deep Monster, well back Tastiera. Masquerade Ball with work to do. Calandigan's 3 wide going on with Danon Desile the inside. Danon Beluga well back in the run and under pressure at the moment. On the inside is Yoho Lake and Struve, and wider out starting to pick up at the moment Justin Palace. The 400-metre mark. They're shortening stride but running on now. Here comes Quadanor and Calandigan is joining in. Big strides, Calandigan coming with Masquerade Ball. Masquerade Ball. Calandigan is dead in front, but Masquerade Ball is kicking. Masquerade Ball the inside. Calandigan the outside. Head bobbing to the line. They hit the line, and maybe Calandigan's won it from Masquerade Ball. Danon Desile's third. Then back on the outside of them was Justin Palace. Swinging back to the inside, Tastiera. Finishing off really well was Quadanor. Behind them, Struve, Shin Emperor. Now the jockey, Christophe Lemaire, has been dropped. And as he hit alongside Danon Desile's jockeys also come down. The 2 horses are running on freely. What a disaster as they've gone across the line. 3 horses running freely in the Japan Cup, and 2 of them after the race. Admire Terra, a record. They've broken the record of an Armoured Eye. 2:20.3. Calandigan likes firm ground. He now really loves Tokyo. This is a head bobber, but I'm leading to Calandigan from Masquerade Ball. Danon Desile has run third, and the second and third horses have collided 200 metres past the winning post, and both jockeys have come off. Christophe Lemaire is okay, but looking for is Keita Tosaki. Well done to Calandigan and their connections. All jockeys concerned about the other jockeys, of course, and the free horses.
Plenty of drama here in the 45th Japan Cup.
A record.
We've said record time, 2:20.3.
What a year for the trainer, Graffard, and Mikhail Barcelona, and the Aga Khan taking out the Japan Cup. The 20-year hoodoo has been broken. 8, 15, 14, 2-1, and still awaiting medical attention. No one's arrived to help the fallen jockey here. They're finding now they're sprinting across, which is good to see. Well done. Unbelievable effort by Calandigan and Mikhail Barcelona. He put the horse in the last third of the field. He got into a 3-wide position, but with cover. And this horse has lived up to his billing of the best rated horse in the world by taking out the Japan Cup in record time, and just a nose in it between the favourite Masquerade Ball. Brave, but set. And Danon Desile, a bit of a gap back to Danon Desile, and even further gap back to the rest. Number 2 has run 4th in Quadanor, and Justin Palace finished off late to get into 5th.
Performance by Calandigan.
Mikhail Barcelona had been to Japan previously on a short contract. He'd notched up 19 winners in that time, and in just the weekend he's ridden a couple of winners and takes out the big one. So now he gets a $3 million bonus for winning the Japan Cup, on top of the 500 million yen first prize money, which is about $3.5 million. So it'll be somewhere in the $6.5 to $7 million has gone to connections of Calandigan for taking up the Japan Cup in absolute brilliant fashion. Disappointment with Admire Terra being dumped before, as the barriers open, the jockey Kawada. dislodging him. And then after the race, this strange happening. I didn't see what happened. Did you notice?
No. Looking here and not there. At,
yes, I'm looking back at the horses, the line right back to the tail. And when I looked up, Danon de Sale was weaving sideways, and perhaps Masquerade Ball has come across, and they've collided, and both jockeys dislodged. And, well, Admire Terror has been captured. The other two horses on the other side of the track.
So what a year for Calandagan, topping it all now with a Japan Cup victory. Some performance that. And
I'm just trying to confirm if all horses have been captured. I can see two have. Is there more atmosphere over further with, I believe it's, the heart rate's being checked.
So just repeating the
Ball, but
just yes. Repeating the numbers: 8:15, 14:21, still unofficial, but 8:15, 14:21 in record time, 0.3 quicker than Almond Eye did in 2018.
True sportsmanship there by Christophe Lemaire, smiling as he looked across to Mikhail Barcelona for his win in taking out the Japan Cup. And I was wondering there whether Admire Terror was going to beat them both, because he was still not interfering with the runners, but Ho Ho Biscuits was just in behind him in the home straight. Some of the runners that set the early tempo were going back through the field.
Big run from Croix du Nord.
Yeah, well, I think hampered a little bit by that free running horse, but wasn't really going on with it. But Danon de Sale certainly was. Big strong finish once again by Justin Palace, finishing just ahead of Brady Vague. And Mikhail Barcelona and Calandagan have taken out the Japan Cup in brilliant fashion. They were stride for stride from about the 400 metre mark, Masquerade Ball and Calandagan. They were going together, going past Shin Emperor. And as Shin Emperor... That is Yoho Lake and Struve, and wider out, starting to pick up at the moment, Justin Palace. The 400 metre mark, they're shortening stride, but running on now. Here comes Croix du Nord, and Calandagan is joining in. Big strides, Calandagan coming with Masquerade Ball. Masquerade Ball. Calandagan is dead in front, but Masquerade Ball is kicking. Masquerade Ball the inside, Calandagan the outside. Head and head, bobbing to the line. They hit the line, and maybe Calandagan's won it from Masquerade Ball. Danon de Sale's third. Then back on the outside of them was Justin Palace, swinging back to the inside, Tastiera. Finishing off really well was Croix du Nord. Behind them, Struve, Shin Emperor. Now the jockey, Christophe Lemaire, has been dropped. And as he's hit alongside Danon de Sale's jockeys also come down. The two horses are running on freely. What a disaster as they've gone across the line. Three horses running freely in the Japan Cup, and two of them after the race. Admire Terror. Well, they're set, stand by. They're ready in the Japan Cup. They're off and racing, and the jockey on Admire Terror has dropped straight out of the barrier and will take obviously no part in the horse running free at the back of the tail. And going straight to the lead is Seun Hades. Swooping across is Ho Ho Biscuits, and up there is Croix du Nord. Shin Emperor's there as well. Tastiera's got across with a bit of cover. Inside it is, on the inside, Cosmo Coranda. Back in behind them is Danon de Sale getting a bit of a squeeze. Back to Deep Monster. Back in the ruck is Justin Palace. Masquerade Ball goes on with Calandigan, and that free running horse out wide, Admire Terror. Then Yoho Lake. Then down on Beluga, Struve, and at the tail of the field, Breda Vague, the mare, leading out by 7 lengths at the moment. An unusual leader here in Sayun Hades leads out from Ho Ho Biscuits, and running third at the moment, Sunrise Earth, then Quadanor, followed by Shin Emperor. Then comes back in the ruck, midfield, Cosmo Caranda. Tastiera's settled well, as has Masquerade Ball. It's inside, Deep Monster, down on Desile. That loose horses still going along with them on the outside of Masquerade Ball. Calandigan back in the last third of the field, but seems to be travelling sweetly. Then down on Beluga, well back in the ruck at the moment, 3 wide is Justin Palace. It's inside Yoho Lake, then Struve, and Brady Vague still at the tail of the field. This one's coming back to them as they get to the 1,000-metre mark, and it still leads out by 8 lengths. And that's Sayun Hades, but is really shortening stride. Running second, Ho Ho Biscuits, starting to take off Sunrise Earth, and that free runner is on the outside of them. Then comes Cosmo Caranda, followed by Quadanor, who's starting to click up. Then Shin Emperor, Deep Monster, well back Tastiera. Masquerade Ball with work to do. Calandigan's 3 wide going on with down on Desile, the inside, down on Beluga. Well back in the run and under pressure at the moment. On the inside is Yoho Lake and Struve, and wider out starting to pick up at the moment Justin Palace. The 400-metre mark, they're shortening stride but running on now. Here comes Quadanor, and Calandigan is joining in. Big strides, Calandigan coming with Masquerade Ball. Masquerade Ball. Calandigan is dead in front, but Masquerade Ball is kicking. Masquerade Ball the inside, Calandigan the outside. Head and head, bobbing to the line. They hit the line, and maybe Calandigan's won it from Masquerade Ball. Down on Desile's third. Then back on the outside of them was Justin Palace. Swinging back to the inside, Tastiera. Finishing off really well was Quadanor. Behind them, Struve, Shin Emperor. Now the jockey, Christophe Lemaire, has been dropped. And as he hit alongside down on Desile's jockeys also come down. The 2 horses are running on freely. What a disaster as they've gone across the line. 3